Luanda's skyline glitters like a mirage, a futuristic cityscape of mirrored glass towers and neon lights rising from the Atlantic coast. By night, the bay shimmers with the reflections of yachts and oil rigs, symbols of immense wealth in a nation where many still struggle to survive. Angola's capital, once scarred by decades of war, now flaunts skyscrapers, designer malls, and luxury penthouses, the visible facade of an invisible empire. But behind this transformation lies a quieter force, a man rarely seen, barely photographed, yet deeply entrenched in the arteries of Angola's economy. He's not a president or a general, but a billionaire businessman whose power flows through oil wells, banks, and boardrooms. His name, António Mosquito M'Bakassy. To most outsiders, he's a mystery. To Angola's elite, he's the man who makes things happen, the billionaire who, from the shadows, seems to control the nation's wealth. This is the untold story of how António Mosquito built a hidden empire, and why his name still echoes in Luanda's most exclusive circles. Welcome to Luxury Buzz, your channel for untold billionaire dynasties, secret power networks, and the lavish lives of the ultra-rich. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss a glimpse into the hidden empire shaping our world. Rise of a Shadow Tycoon. Born in 1947, Mosquito came of age during one of Angola's most turbulent chapters, a time of colonial collapse, revolution, and civil war. When the Portuguese abruptly withdrew in 1975, chaos reigned. Yet, amid the turmoil, the young entrepreneur saw opportunity. He took over Oliveira Barros and Companhia, a trading firm abandoned by its fleeing Portuguese owners, a bold move that set the foundation for his empire. With the economy in ruins and foreign investors gone, Mosquito began supplying what Angola desperately needed: oil exports and vehicle imports. By the 1980s, he had found his golden lane, linking Angola's new oil wealth with Western brands. His companies became the exclusive distributors of Audi and Volkswagen, bringing German luxury cars to Luanda's emerging elite. Every gleaming Audi on the capital's avenues was a rolling advertisement for Mosquito's growing fortune. These ventures made him a multimillionaire. More importantly, they opened doors to Angola's ruling class. Mosquito mastered the art of discretion, staying politically neutral while quietly partnering with the state. He never let himself be tempted by politics, wrote one Portuguese business outlet, yet somehow every major deal seemed to carry his invisible signature. By the 1990s, Mosquito was no longer just a businessman. He was an insider, part of a tight circle of power brokers orbiting the presidency. The hidden empire: oil, aviation, construction, and beyond. By the 2000s, António Mosquito had consolidated his fortune under Grupo António Mosquito, GM, a vast conglomerate with interests stretching across Angola and into Europe. His holdings were intentionally complex, with shell companies, offshore accounts, and joint ventures masking true ownership. But peel back the layers and the empire reveals itself. Oil, the golden vein. In a country where oil represents more than 90% of export revenue, Mosquito ensured he had a direct line to the black gold. His company, Falcon Oil Holdings, held lucrative stakes in offshore blocks, including a 10% share in Block 33, one of Angola's richest fields. This single investment tied him directly to the state oil company Sonangol and to the Dos Santos family who controlled it. International watchdogs noticed early. A 1999 Global Witness report flagged Mosquito as a key player in Angola's opaque oil trade, a man who managed to stay invisible even as billions flowed through his networks. Automobiles, the luxury connection. Through M'Bakassy and Philos, Mosquito continued to dominate Angola's luxury car market, catering to ministers, generals, and rising tycoons. His showrooms were filled with the latest European imports, gleaming symbols of status in a nation defined by inequality. In the 2000s, he aimed even higher to assemble cars locally. He partnered with Welvichea Chise dos Santos, the president's daughter, and Volkswagen to create Ankar Automóveis de Angola. The goal was to build Audis and Skodas on Angolan soil. But when 16% of Mosquito's company was arbitrarily handed to Chise's firm for free, Volkswagen pulled out, unwilling to associate with such blatant nepotism. The project collapsed, yet it revealed the tight web connecting Mosquito's ventures to Angola's ruling dynasty. Construction, building empires in concrete. As Angola's post-war reconstruction boom began, billions flowed into roads, airports, and housing projects. Mosquito moved swiftly, partnering with foreign giants like Odebrecht and Teixeira Duarte. In 2014, he made his boldest move yet, buying a controlling stake in Soares da Costa, one of Portugal's largest construction firms, for roughly 70 million euros. Overnight, an Angolan tycoon became the chairman of a major Portuguese company. Soon after, he joined a consortium that bought into a Portuguese media empire, Control Investa, owner of Diário de Notícias and other newspapers. Few realized it at the time, but the money behind these deals came from none other than Isabel dos Santos, the president's billionaire daughter. Mosquito was her proxy, a polite, discreet frontman for her expansion into Europe. Through construction and media, Mosquito extended Angola's reach into Lisbon's elite economy, while solidifying his own position as the regime's most trusted operator. Legacy of an invisible mogul. Today, António Mosquito M'Bakassy stands as a relic and a survivor of Angola's gilded age of oil-fueled excess. At 78, he's less active, but his companies continue to operate, often managed by his sons under the Filhos banner. His story mirrors that of modern Angola itself. Immense natural wealth, hidden networks of power, and fortunes built on proximity to the throne. He is not just a businessman, he is a symbol of how the post-war elite turned a struggling nation into a private empire. Does António Mosquito truly control Angola? Perhaps not in the literal sense, but his influence is undeniable. For decades, no major oil block, bank deal, or infrastructure project moved forward without crossing his path. As Angola's new leaders push for reform and transparency, the era of the shadow tycoon is fading, yet men like Mosquito don't disappear. They evolve, retreating into the background as their legacies live on through companies, trusts, and heirs. In the glittering skyline of Luanda, those towers of steel and glass that Mosquito helped build, his influence endures. He is the invisible architect of a system that fused wealth, secrecy, and survival. And so, while Angola's billionaires and politicians come and go, António Mosquito M'Bakassy remains the enduring paradox of African power. The man who had everything, controlled much, but preferred to be seen by no one. Because in Angola, true power doesn't shout, it whispers. From behind mirrored glass and boardroom doors, where António Mosquito still holds the keys to the kingdom. If you enjoyed this story of hidden power and untold wealth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. More secret empires are coming soon, only on Luxury Buzz.